everybody, this is Amy Rich with amyrich.net. It's time for project number 5 in the 12 projects of Christmas 2024. And check out how cute this paper is. Let's just take a look at each piece. We're going to use this one. And we're going to use this one because I love plaid. But let's look at the back as well, because it's worth noting that some of these papers, the images can be cut out using the dies. So keep that in mind when you're creating, that you can sometimes use dies to cut out images in the DSP. And we're going to start with a piece of real red cardstock measuring 7 by 9 3/4. And we do need to do some scoring. So I'm going to grab my trimmer, which also scores. That's one of the reasons I love this so much. And essentially you're doing you're scoring at 1 inch and 6 inches, or 1 inch and 1 inch. Either way, 1 inch from either side, or 1 inch and 6 inches. All right, now we need to do some scoring this direction as well. I'm going to pull out the ruler on my trimmer and start at a 1/2 inch, and then 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to turn it around and keep going. 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. So a lot of 1 inch sections there, and 7. I am excited about this project because it is not a card. This time we are creating a treat and gift card holder. And I'm going to start by just lightly folding on all of the scored lines, because there are so many. So 2 going one direction and then lots going the other direction. So we're just going to work our way all the way down, all those 1 inch sections. I do have a little smudge on my paper, but I think that's going to be okay. We're going to be covering that up, so no big deal. Then I'm going to grab, that was my take your pick tool in case you heard that clunk. It rolled off my table. But we're going to cut out these skinny sections down here at the bottom, what I would call the bottom of my gift card holder treat box. I got to figure out what I'm going to call that. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Okay, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to cut out these 2 sections on both sides as well. So just cut into the score line, and then you could use your trimmer for this part. I am going to just cut my way down and hope I'm relatively straight. Okay, once those cuts are complete, then we're going to go back to these sides and we're just going to cut in on each of these score lines up to the score line that is going the other direction. And we're going to do that again to both sides. Okay, then we're going to flip these up. And we're going to add 2 pieces of the DSP Designer Series paper right into place in the first 2 sections here. There are a couple different ways you could do it. You could use your liquid glue, which I'm going to actually use quite a bit of. You can, for the assembly of this chocolate box or candy box / gift card holder, you can certainly use liquid glue, or I would probably say sticky strip is a great option as well. So I'm going to put plenty of adhesive on, and I'm going to stick these into these sections here. So these measure 4 7/8 by 7/8. So you'll need 2 of those. And then we're going to go ahead and do some cutting. I'm going to make a little window so that you can see our chocolate. And believe it or not, The Wonderful Thoughts dies are the perfect dies for what I wanted to do. I wanted a long and skinny die to create an opening on here that we could see our treats. And this is perfect. So let me just bring that in and show you what I did. First thing was to get it lined up. Now, I'm going to do it twice so that it cuts out enough of what I want. And so I'm going to center it from left to right and kind of put it so that if I put one on top of another, it's going to be about even from top to bottom. It's a little bit of a guess. I'm not going to worry too much about if I'm off just a little bit, you know, if it's not centered exactly, you know, that's the way it goes. But here I've got some washi handy so that I can keep that in place. And then I'm going to do one more piece of washi because I want that to be pretty even. Now, when I put this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it is too wide to go through. So here's how I fixed that. I folded these flaps down, but I realized that if I did that to this one also, it would cut out holes on the flap, which isn't awful, but to avoid that, I tucked in those 3 sections and then brought these sections out. I suppose I could just do all sections out. Let's just do that for the sake of consistency. And then I will cut this out and show you what's next. Okay, so when I pull this up, don't worry, it still went through the sections of paper that I needed it to go through. Oh, I'm ripping it a little bit. Careful, washi. Okay. Just a note of, you know, if your plate looks like mine and down here at the bottom, I know, I need new ones. I know, I've been told it before. I use them till they die, essentially. But because of that, you know, when you run it through, the back side is going to get a little bit, I don't know, messed up from this. So what I did when I ran this through was I simply ran it up to about here and then ran it back on itself. So I didn't run the whole thing through, just that one section. Just a, you know, just a point of just a little tip for you. All right, so for the next one now, I'm gonna move this up, try to get it even. And then this cut blade, I guess, for lack of a better word, will go against the opening that I've already created so that it's just right. And then we're gonna add our washi back on, fold these back up, and let her roll one more time. Again, I'm only gonna roll up to about here, and then I'll roll back on itself. All right, so now I should have the opening that I desire, because I do want my little candy to show through the window. So now I'll just carefully remove the washi. And then notice that we've got our larger window here. Perfect. Many of you know that in the catalog we sell window sheets, but you can also, when you're using a photopolymer stamp, take the heavier sheet that it comes in the stamp box with the stamp set. You can use that if you want to as well. But I just got a window sheet that measures the same as the DSP Designer Series paper in the front here. And that, remember, is 4 7/8 by 7/8. And that window is going to go on the back here. So you can adhere this in a couple of ways. I'm going to just use my liquid glue. I kind of want it to stick I'm going to do a real thin layer here. I kind of want it to stick all the way around. The first prototype I made, I decided to just do glue dots in the corners, and I wasn't happy with the results on that. So instead, we're going to just put some of that liquid glue all the way around, and then that'll make sure that we've got it sticking where we want it, which is everywhere. Okay, so let's flip this over now. We've got our little opening. We've got everything going on here. And then we're going to, actually, let's flip it back. I am going to take a 1 3/4 inch circle punch and cut a notch. This notch will be for me to grab my gift card. Now I can kind of center that circle by looking in the corners here against that score line and also against the edge over here. And I'll pop that section out. This will get folded down, which will create a gift card holder. I'm going to bring in another piece though of the designer series paper. Okay, this is going to get adhered into place here. Now I should have an even border left, top, and right, and then there's a little bit bigger border at the bottom, and that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that at all. So this is one of my favorites because it's plaid, and I love plaid. And we're going to add that again, like I said, so that the border is even on left, top, and right. Okay, and you can see that it's going to go over that section. I should have maybe watched a little bit more carefully where my adhesive was going to go, but that's okay. I'm going to pop that right out so that it matches. Now, I also decided when I was creating my prototype that I want a notch on the back side as well. So I'm going to pop that a third time so that we've got a really nice spot to grab our gift card. All right, so we're ready to adhere. And like I said, you can either use liquid glue or you can use tear and tape if that works better. I think I'm going to use liquid glue. I was going back and forth. I'm not sure. And go ahead and about, you know, you can check your gift card. So here's an old card that I've had. So maybe it's a little far, but you want to be able to grab it, but you don't want to lose it in there. So that's why I chose to put my glue like 1.5 inches, maybe not quite, maybe a little over 1 inch, 1.25 inches on there like that. And then we'll go across the top. So actually I probably could have left the glue where I wiped it off there at the top. But we're going to adhere this down now so that this will be closed over here on the left, and then it will be locked into place down here at the bottom. And then our gift card will simply slide into place and be ready to grab. Isn't that awesome? Okay, but now the rest we've still got to put together. So we want this section to adhere up here at the top. So what I am going to do is just add my glue here. Again, you can use tear and tape if you'd prefer. I think I ended up with liquid glue because of the ease and speed for this video, but you can certainly use the tear and tape as well. So just make sure that's really well adhered, and then you can pop this up like this, and you will want to close one end. So I'm going to take these flaps and I'm going to close them all on top of each other. Now this one, remember, I folded over and it has the imprint of that die that I was using. So I am going to cover that. And actually, maybe that would have been the smarter way to go. That's okay. I'm going to cover that with the last piece. But now, how do I get this to make sure it's adhered? Well, a couple different ways. You could use take your pick tool to reach down there. I've got a pencil just happen to be sitting here on my table. So I'll push that. And then one last one over here. And typically I don't like a raw edge to be showing on the side, but when you look at it, you can't really see it until you turn it. So I think it'll be okay. Then, you know what fits perfectly in there are Hershey Kisses. And you know what? I didn't even worry about getting them to sit properly in the box. I just wanted to fit as many as I could. If you wanted to fit them properly in the box, right way up, all in a neat little row, you'd only get 5 in there. I tried it, trust me. And I wanted to fit more, so I did. But then I would shut these all like this and then just use a mini glue dot because you're going to want them to get in there without completely ruining your box. Now I have just a little bit more decorating to do here. So I'm going to grab a couple of dies. I don't know, you're either going to say I'm a genius for figuring out this window with the Wonderful Thoughts dies, or you're going to say I'm an idiot for using 3 different die sets here. But let me talk about those die sets. So we know the Wonderful Thoughts. This is the Stylish Shapes. And then finally, I am going to use the Reindeer Fun dies right here to coordinate with the bottom of the box. So I cut them out of Garden Green and Real Red. Now to do the stamping, I really wanted to use the Merry Christmas here, but it was going to be just a little bit too long for what I wanted it to do. So instead, I snagged this amazing Peaceful Season stamp set, and you can do phrase building with it. So I grabbed the Happy, and I'm going to use Real Red ink for this. Okay, so I'm going to stamp Happy. Now, keeping in mind that I want to use my holly over here on the side, I'm going to keep the Happy over here to the right. And then Cheer All Year. I thought that was cute. Happy Cheer All Year. And I will have to do a little shifting. Happy Cheer All Year. And then we're going to add that. Let's close this up before I make a total mess, because it could very well happen. Actually, I'm going to pop that up. So let's grab some dimensionals. I think these are dimensionals left over from one of my recent kit togethers. And then I'm going to add that right to the center, or as close to the center as my eyeballs can make it. And then we'll go ahead and add what we were going to add here. So something like this. I think that'll work really well. And because I've already done a fabulous job of curling the leaves up, because I love dimension, I'm just going, let's do this. Nope. This, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm like, which way do I want it? I don't know. Try this way. Try that way. All right. So we've got this amazing, I love that holly. And then I've got the berries to add as well. They fell under here. Okay. I was about to say, where'd they go? And then I saw them peeking out. And then those will just go in the center. Happy Cheer All Year. And I think what it could use a little bit more of, who doesn't need a little bit of peppermint in their lives? It's just so cute. So cute. And this is a brand new one. What? So we'll just add a couple of those for decoration. Super cute. What do you think? That is so much fun and easy and would make a great gift. Sometimes you want to give a gift card, but you really just don't want to just give a gift card, right? So we've jazzed it up here with a great little project. So thanks for joining me for project number 5. There are 7 more amazing projects coming your way. So keep watching, keep getting excited, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss a single video. All right, take care. Merry Christmas.